Welcome to Sapphire Ridge News. Hey, Julianne. Sorry about yesterday. Yesterday got all screwed up. I was trying to come online, but things kept getting messed up. So, how are you today? So, this whole Signal Gate thing is really interesting and disturbing at the same time. Um, Let me reiterate that nothing that was shown was classified. This trashy, and this is my opinion, this trashy reporter, editor, whatever the hell you want to call him, Jeffrey Goldberg, who was responsible for continuing the Russia hoax and all of that nonsense. And now to think that he got added to this text chain is suspect to me. Hey, Julianne, welcome. Sorry about yesterday. Yesterday got all screwed up. I was trying to get online, but every time I would try to go live, phone call would come in or something, and so just wanted to say I'm sorry about yesterday and accident or not accidents, things happen. But this whole thing of the signal gate, first off, something interesting come out yesterday afternoon. Alex Wong, who works for Mike Waltz, may be the culprit in this whole thing. Okay, Norm Eisen, who's TDS deranged individual, which most of us know as a real jerk. Alex Wong used to work in the same law firm as him. And that's the same law firm that President Trump just won judgment against. And now Alex Wong looks like put in Jeffrey Goldberg as the Atlantic, which could be totally misconstrued as the Atlantic Command. Did not put down a phone number, put the Atlantic, which could, like I said, could have been misconstrued as the Atlantic Command. That's why no one on the chain, thought, hey, what's this odd number out here? Because it said the Atlantic, as in the Atlantic Command. When it was this rag paper, the Atlantic magazine, and so that all broke late yesterday afternoon. And then the issue with, well, we all know who Norm Eisen is and his wife, and all of that trashiness. These are my opinions, you know. And so the original topic I was going to talk about was Pam Bondi invoking state secrets. And this all blew up yesterday afternoon. It's like, no, we got to talk about this. We can do the state secrets tomorrow because now Judge Boasberg can get no more top secret information, and that deserves a whole stream all by itself. Also, Eisen filed a lawsuit yesterday morning regarding Signalgate, and guess who it was assigned to? Judge Boasberg. How is it that Judge Boasberg gets all of these antitrust lawsuits, which we need our Congress, and I have to put a shout out to Eli Crane in Congress. He's working to rein in all of these judges because he said on the Benny Show this morning that a district court judge should only be able to write rulings that affect um, the people in the cases that appear before him. He should not be able to write a ruling that affects the entire nation. He said these nationwide TROs have got to go, which I agree with that because it shows, you know, that a judge, like in California, can write a TRO affecting something in New York. That's just crazy. Or a judge in Hawaii write an order, right? Because the one that I think is holding this up is Speaker Johnson. He has members of Congress that want to put legislation for a vote to rein in these judges, and he hasn't scheduled the vote yet. Andy Biggs and Eli Crane and others have put forth, ways to rein in these judges, and Johnson hasn't scheduled the vote. Johnson needs to get on his game or resign. Um, I have a document that I will provide tomorrow where she declared state secrets, which means Judge Boasberg can get no further. Yeah, he wants to defund the district courts, and he has the authority to eliminate the court in D.C. When it see how it used to be. I remember this from when I was in high school civics. There was a anything regarding the president. The D.C. court circuit was forbidden from dealing with it, and it went to a three-judge panel that rotated from everywhere in the country. And we need to go back to that. And I agree that Johnson said he wants to defund the district courts, but he needs to act on it. You know what I mean? Pam Bondi was in Virginia this morning. They busted the leader of MS-13, and she was apparently on scene when it went down. I don't know why the Attorney General would be called to a scene like that. This was MS-13. They got the number, what was it? The number three head of MS-13, and he lived in Virginia, 20 minutes from the Capitol. Um, but back to the Signal Gate thing, I just think it's very interesting that no one on the call knows or has ever met Jeffrey Goldberg. None of them. They were all asked. And, you know, so how did his number? But Mike Waltz said something interesting last night. He was on Laura Ingraham last night, and he said that he said that he said couple of things that were interesting. One, that he's never met Jeffrey Goldberg, and Laura was like, "Well, then how did you get his number?" And he tried to say that it was a wrong number, which I don't buy. If you have never met someone, you would not have their phone number. I mean, I like Mike Waltz, but this looks bad for him, you know. And Alex Wong, who worked with anti-Trump lawyers, is probably going to take the fall for this. And John Ratcliffe said something interesting at the hearing. He said that when he showed up at as head of the CIA after getting sworn in, that the tech uh, division of CIA showed up and installed Signal on his computer, and he was made to believe that this is a secure method of conversation, and that it was developed by the CIA. which I find interesting, that is developed by the CIA, but well, CIA, it's my view that CIA needs to be totally reformed. CIA thinks they are their own state within the state and that they're not responsible to anyone. That needs to go. See, the CIA used to be for helping uh, governments around the world, and somehow it got co opted to be this anti American thing, and it needs to change. Uh, And they are whittling down these departments. The Department of Education is laying off people. EPA is laying off people. Um, HHS is laying off people. We have such a bloated government that we have to. Hey, Miss Mandy, how's Miss Mandy today? I looked for your stream and I didn't see it posted. Are you not going to stream today? I know yesterday you had said you were going to be off for the weekend. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted you to know I did look for it and I knew that you were going to be gone tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. We're talking about this Signal Gate thing and interesting things that have come up yesterday. Okay, Alex Wong works for Mike Waltz. Alex Wong used to work for Norm Eisen. Norm Eisen is this TDS deranged person, and it's Benny from the Benny Show said it's a psyop. It's a way for Democrats to try to stop the Trump administration because within 24 hours of this going public, yeah, went public on Tuesday. Yesterday, Norm Eisen's law firm filed a lawsuit and it was assigned to Judge Boasberg. We have much more serious things because I looked over what was in the Signal Signal chat. There's nothing top secret in there. They're talking about possible targets. They don't list actual targets. They list possible airplanes. They don't list the actual airplanes because all these Democrats are, I think, and I said this the other day in one of the chats I was in, I think this was all done to flush out the Democrats and show their true colors, show how much they hate Donald Trump and anyone that works for him. And it worked because the Democrats' approval rating is now below 27%, which I think it will continue to go down. Something that I'm going to talk about Saturday um, is state of Illinois making homeschooling illegal, punishable by a year in jail for parents, and that they will go after anyone who was homeschooling their kids and put them in jail. You know, I know plenty of kids that were homeschooled that are very smart. And see, homeschooling gets a bad rap, but they allow the child to learn at the child's pace. And when they get done, they still have to take all the tests that are required. But a lot of these, um, I'll call them Christian parents, don't want their kids being taught all this radical nonsense in the public schools. And I think that deserves a whole stream by itself. And I also know on the flip side, I know I have a cousin who was a public school teacher, and she was one of the best history teachers that I have ever seen. She taught history to behavioral disorder students, and she kept it engaging and worked with the kids, and she was just very good. I'm glad to see that we have some more people here today. Usually it's just me and Julianne or me and Zach, and I've lost a couple of subscribers over the past week. I think I was up to 256, and I'm now down to 249. But as we keep adding content, the subscribers will naturally grow. Hey, IRS, how are you today? So, IRS, how did you find my channel? Welcome. Miss Mandy, you know, you helped me so much. Yes, I do come on Miss Mandy's. I was just curious. Miss Mandy has helped me out so much. I appreciate her and I enjoy her channel content very much. So, this whole thing with Signalgate is my belief that it's a psyop. I know you don't mind, but I think when somebody helps somebody out, you should thank them. The Signalgate thing is a psyop. And the reason why I think it was a psyop is because within 48 hours, yeah, JR is having some issues. Um, his uncle passed away, and he went to the funeral. And then while he was dealing with that, um, had to take and move his dad from Arkansas by where his um, uncle lived. His dad is now living with him, and they're adjusting to him, helping him with his doctors and all of that kind of stuff. And that, and I talked to him yesterday through text message. He said that he's going to get back to posting videos within probably the next week, but that he just has to have time to adjust. And I completely understand. And so he's going to start posting shorts to start out with. That way, there's content on his channel that's being posted. But the reason why I say that this is a psyop is because within 48 hours, and it's over with. There's no other backstory. And it looks like that Alex Wong, who worked for Norm Eisen, that works for Mike Waltz, is going to end up without a job. Yeah, each week new stuff comes out. And that's why I try not to focus on things for, like multiple streams. I cover it and then I do something else and then I do something else. And if I have to go back and do an update, then I'm not doing the same thing day after day after day after day. That would get boring, right? Yeah. When they said that Alex Wong used to work for Norm Eisen's law firm, it was like, okay, so there's your culprit. Move on, because Norm Eisen was one of the ones that pushed the Russia hoax. He worked for Hillary Clinton. So that's all done and over with, in my view, unless they come up with something new. The and I thought that John Ratcliffe yesterday did an excellent job with some of these Democratic Congress people that were trying to say that this proved, the one guy said this proves that Pete Hegseth is a drunk and that he doesn't know what he's doing. And John Ratcliffe put that dude in his place, told him he's that told him that whole line of questioning is offensive to every person that works at the Trump administration, and I will not stand for it. The guy kept trying to cut him off. He said, "No, you asked a question, you're getting my answer." Today, they're doing a hearing on the DC crash. So there's that. And I don't know what happened to Zach. Do you know what happened to Zach, Julianne? I haven't seen Zach on for several days. I really enjoy my group that comes on because we can talk about subjects, bounce ideas off of one another. You know, nobody gets mad. Nobody says this, that, the third. We just bounce ideas off of each other, and then we move on to the next subject. You know what I mean? Yeah, Zach is usually here, and he hasn't been here since Monday. Yeah, we get mad at the news is right. I could share stories of Senator Tammy Duckworth before she became a senator. I used to volunteer at the VA in Pines, Illinois, by Chicago, and the disgraceful way she treated the staff there. Do you want to hear about it? Because she is a self-entitled B word. You know, it starts by when she was secretary of the VA in Illinois, and Ronald Reagan was born in Dixon, Illinois. So after he passed away, they renamed the, the toll road the Ronald Reagan Expressway. And she actually said at the, uh, um, she gave a speech when they christened it, and she said, I don't know why we're naming a road after a failed president that was not even from here. He was born there. He lived there until he was like 10 years old. And and the story that, see, she was a helicopter pilot in the Army. I give her credit for that. She lost one of her legs in a crash where her helicopter was shot down. I feel for her on that. What I have an issue with is when she was secretary of the VA in Illinois, she would come in to the VA there in Hines, Illinois, and she would yell and scream at the staff, and she would already have a prosthetic that was working fine and would want a new prosthetic when there was nothing wrong with the one that she had. And when they would tell her that, they're not able to order a new one when she just got the one she had, and she would yell and scream at them, "Do you know who I am? Do you know I could pick up the phone and have you fired?" I thought, what a disgrace. And then she became senator. So I don't think that her attitude has changed. You know what I mean? Well, that's what I got for y'all today. I will be back here tomorrow where we can discuss um, Cambani invoking state secrets on Judge Boasberg because I have the actual document that I can put up on screen and I can read it from my phone because when I put it up on my screen for you guys to view, I can't make for some reason, I can't make the document bigger, but I can read it off of my phone. It's not a very long document, it's one page, so we can get through that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, and he will likely get it. It's like I watched, I don't know what channel I watched yesterday, and they said, and this was interesting, they said that Trump had 4 years in office, and then he had 4 years to prepare for this time. And they said when they tried to unalive him, said all bets are off. He's going to get to the bottom of what happened, and he is not going to play around. He's going to put people in jail. Said it will take time because the court system takes time, but it will happen. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Love you guys. Take care. Bye now.